Ooh, I said it about Saw Baby that of the Young Thug children in the family tree, the Saw Baby is the one doing it right now. I think he's got the most interesting components about him outside of the fact that he does a really good imitation of some of those Young Thug characteristics. I think he's one of the only ones that's actually almost as weird as Young Thug is, enough to the point where you start populating those ideas on your own. So I give him a lot of credit for that. But the other guy who I think is just a really, really fantastic clone of Young Thug, and I say that like in a positive way, is Lil Keed. And I think he does the best imitation. I think he, still has his own flair to things, at least enough to make an interesting album. So for me, this had several bangers on it. I do think it's a little carried by like the features on it. So I'm not giving the project too much more love than it deserves. But I gotta show Lil Keed some love because I didn't even really think he could come through with like a full project that almost front to back I really enjoyed. So even just on the level that like there's a lot of bangers on here and a lot of songs that I've kept in my rotation for the past few weeks, impressive.
I like pretty much all of it. There's actually only one song that I was like, this is ass, and that's that Lil Baby song. I don't know.
Oh, this is one of the best ones.
Nah, dude, this shit is ass. Actually, I also didn't like, what's it called? Heartbreaker. That one was kind of boring. Yeah. But
that song was weird.
Even songs that feature, like, even songs with no feature, and even the songs with features that, like, I wouldn't really care about this. Like, most of the time when I see a Ty Dolla $ign, I don't really care that much. Like, it's because he's just on everything.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that's an amazing song.
I thought that was really good. I can listen to Lil Keed for the same exact reasons I listen to Young Thug, and I'm fine with that because I could always use more Young Thug oriented things in my life because he's a legend.
They have brought me a lot of happy days.
Yeah, he's brought me immeasurable happiness in some of my darkest times. No, I appreciate that. I'm glad that you told me to listen to this because now I feel like I don't have to just listen to Barter 6 or, every Young Thug tape when I want to listen to Young Thug. I can listen to some Lil Keed or something and get something a little different. Hibachi, awesome song. Really fuck with that song.
We putting exotic flavors on our watches.
Oh, man. That was cool. But yeah, it was a little long for me. I think the album overall was a little bit too long for me.
Yeah, 57 minutes, packed out for sure.
If it was pushed down to like 45, even I probably would have been like, "Yo, this is perfect." Like,
yeah,
that's even a little long for like this type of project for me, 45 minutes. But I think he does enough and is interesting enough that if he had just cut like 2 or 3 songs out of this, I would have been fine with it. But
yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. There's some fat to trim out of here. And like I said, I tend to find myself reaching back for the feature tracks because I love the Lil Baby track. I love the Ty Dolla $ign song. I love the 42 Doug song. I love even the Travis Scott remix. That one's fire, man.
The Travis Scott remix I wasn't crazy about, and the Lil Baby I just do not like at all.
Yeah, no, I'm all over that shit. I mean, granted, there are like cool. Even the intro or Traplana or Grandparents.
Traplana's amazing.
I like those.
Grandparents is amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, those were the 2 that I was talking about that don't have features that I was all in on. I'm like, oh, okay, so he can carry a song if he wants to. Like, he could do.
Yeah, there are some of those tracks, and then there are some other ones that probably could be cut in favor of a better, more succinct album. But then, again, you'd be sitting with a lot of feature tracks, and so there's something there that doesn't quite add up to this artist being totally in control of the music and having a very, very clear vision and putting out a project that is, all killer, no filler. I don't really see him doing that. But I do like that there were some flashes of, hey, here's a song that's just him. and I, like I remember it. It's memorable. I come back to it. It's in my rotation. And if I would rather have an album that I like that has a lot of features than to have this person do all their own work and for it to just be mid.
A good song with features, I put less credit into than if you can like still put, especially in this genre of rap, if you can put out a song that's just you that gets the job done just as well.
Yeah.
And so I like, it's cool to have like 42 Dogs was cool because that's just kind of like, not everybody's listening to 42 Dogs, but if you make a kind of a little bit whacker song with like a Travis Scott or a Lil Baby or a Future, which are all like kind of the bigger names right now, I'm like, that's not that tight. But then you come through with shit like Grandparents or Traplana, which I think were actually two of the best songs on this thing. And I'm like, okay, that makes up a little bit for whatever momentum you might have lost me with some of those other songs.
Yeah,
but
I think you do have like basically the same mentality that I had in listening to it. And I would kind of count those points probably along the same lines for sure. I do think this is definitely a big step up. This is a big come up from Trapped on Cleveland 2, which only featured Paper Love and Persona and Young Slat. This shit's got Young Thug, Gunna, Lil Baby, Travis Scott. It's got everybody on it. So, yeah, I've had quite a bit of fun checking this out. It's fairly replayable. Even on some of the tracks that I love that have features, I can still point to Keed as being the reason why I like that particular song. So I gave him a couple points too on a couple songs there, like Twisted, that I thought, he still did his thing. He still, without that feature, I'd still probably like that song. So overall, another pretty good album, I think.